industry and the food industry.
Right.
For example, obesity, weight loss. There are natural remedies for weight loss that the drug companies and the food industry does not want you to know about. Now think about this. Let's assume that you own a food company. You sell food, okay? You want to sell more food because that's how you make more money. Okay?
Right.
The lobbyists in Washington right now, as we speak, are demanding that the federal government and the various organizations, independent bodies, do not promote eat less, exercise more. The food industry does not want the message eat less, exercise more. Why? Because eating less means people consume less food.
So is the common thread in all of this seems to be money.
It's all about money. The drug industry does not want people to get healthy. Now think about that. People think, no, it's not, that drugs are good. No, the drug industry does not want people to get healthy. The drug industry wants people to buy more drugs. Healthy people don't need drugs. If everyone in America was healthy, the drug industry would be out of business.
Well, I know it's rare, but sometimes there are what start out to be natural medicines, for lack of a better word, that are studied by the FDA, and there are years of study before they finally give it a patent and allow it to be sold as a medicine or as a drug. I can speak from personal experience. Back in the 70s, I'm going to date myself, but I was a spokesman for a health food store chain, and they were promoting a product called granulated lecithin, which, if I was going to put my voice or my face on camera to talk about these products, I was going to at least try them to see if they work. And granulated lecithin at that time worked as far as reducing fat, giving you more energy, able to exercise and shed the pounds.
Correct.
But they pretty much wanted to shut the whole operation down because...
they got sued, of course, by either the FTC or the FDA for making, quote, unsubstantiated claims.
And you're no stranger to that.
Absolutely. And this is the problem. When a natural remedy works, the Food and Drug Administration comes in because it's affecting drug companies' profits. An example, there was a study conducted on vitamin E, natural vitamin E, as a blood thinner.
I remember that.
And they compared it to the drug heparin. And this research showed that vitamin E worked as good or better than the drug heparin. Well, if you go to a hospital, you don't get vitamin E.
No.
You get heparin because it's a drug, and it's a profitable drug. Drug companies do not want people to get healthy. They want them to buy more drugs. If you have, for example, a headache, they don't want your pain to go away forever. They want you to be popping some type of pain-relieving pill for the rest of your life. See, if you have a headache, it's not because you have an aspirin deficiency. Think about it.
Right.
So, but if there was a way to cure migraine headaches forever, so they never came back. If there was a way, and there is, a natural remedy you can put on the skin that will get rid of pain forever. Arthritis pain will go away. There is a natural herbal supplement that the Asian Diabetes Association has called the final cure for diabetes. It is the absolute cure. It's an herbal remedy. It's taken for 3 months approximately, and it will dramatically reduce or eliminate the need for any insulin shots, and it can cure diabetes, type 1 and type 2, in the majority of cases. Now, do you think the companies that manufacture diabetes products want a cure for diabetes?
I was going to mention that would put a real cramp in the insulin makers.
It would wipe out a whole industry.
Right.
And this is the problem. Do you think the food industry wants people to be thin? No. The food industry wants people to be fatter. There are ingredients being put in food right now that make you hungry. There are ingredients that are being put in food right now that make you addicted to the food. There are ingredients that are being put in food right now that make you fat. And most of these products are called diet products. Interesting. You take a diet product and you think, oh, this is to help me lose weight.
Right.
There is research that shows the ingredients being put in by the food manufacturers specifically increase appetite, specifically make a person fatter, and get them addicted to the product. Now, if you sell food, isn't that great for you?
Sure.
Wow, let's put in this ingredient so that when our customers buy it, they get hungrier. That way they have to buy more food. Obesity is not a disease. It's being put upon us by the food industry. Why is it right now there are more fat people in America than ever before in our history, and more diet products are consumed than ever before? Over 70% of the people in America right now are overweight. Almost 40% are obese. But now it's a disease, which means, guess what? They're trying to wipe out all the natural cures for overweight so that you can have only drugs treat overweight people. And that's where this book is. Natural cures they don't want you to know about. Cancer. There are cures for cancer. There are ways to prevent cancer.
What are some? I mean, without giving away too much of the book.
And this, I've been attacked by the FTC and the FDA for making statements that are true. Now,
Such as?
Okay. Nobel Prize-winning authors have said this. Doctors around the world have said this. Your body has a pH. Okay? If you remember your swimming pool, you tested your pH at acid, alkaline. Right. If your body pH is alkaline, you cannot get cancer.
You can't get sick.
You can't virtually get sick.
Right.
Okay? If it's acid, you can get cancer. In my personal observations, every single person who has cancer has an acidic body, acid pH, or it's so acidic that it's dramatically alkaline.
Caused by?
A whole host of factors. Okay, there's a multitude of things, including the food we eat, even how we think, can turn the body acidic. But the point is, in order to get a person or cure them from cancer, it's simply you get your body to be alkaline. If your body's alkaline, then there's a whole host of ways to get your body alkaline. If your body is alkaline, you cannot get cancer. You cannot get cancer. And if you have cancer, it goes away. That's a cure. It's a natural cure.
Well, that's a pretty bold statement.
But it's true. And do you think the cancer industry wants a cure that's all natural? No.
No, obviously not.
It's $1 billions of dollars.
Well, I think the drug industry is being attacked on all sides. They're being attacked by natural cures. They're being attacked by people importing their drugs from other countries.
Correct.
And I think that, being a government agency, for all intents and purposes, in the United States, that's where the control needs to stay. It just seems like that.
Well, and that's why there's an unholy alliance between the FDA and the FTC. Now, this book, Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About, covers arthritis, migraines, pain, headaches, cancer, heart disease. We'll talk about depression, stress, phobias, fibromyalgia, herpes.
Fibromyalgia, that's kind of like a blanket over...
It's a blanket. When you have some symptoms, you don't feel good, and there's nobody knows what it is. They'll call it fibromyalgia, or chronic fatigue syndrome is another one. There are natural cures that are not drugs that absolutely work. And the companies that manufacture these natural remedies, or in some cases it's simply foods that you can consume, or foods to avoid, just take this food out and the problem goes away. These companies cannot state what their products do, what the homeopathic remedies do, what the essential oils, what the herbs, what the vitamins, their minerals. The companies that sell these products cannot say what they really do, because if they do, the FDA will come in and say you're making a claim, therefore it's a drug, therefore... And the FDA...
But it doesn't have to be a drug.
Well, according to the FDA, it does. See, the FDA laws state that nothing can cure or prevent or diagnose a disease unless it's a drug.
They even have a problem with vitamin C, I believe.
They tried to make that a drug.
Is that right?
Yes. The drug industry is trying to get, for years, has tried to get all vitamins and minerals labeled drugs so that they can control it. There are health freedoms in this country that are being taken away from us. There are more people sick today than ever before. There are more people that are overweight. There are more people that have diabetes. There are more people that have cancer. There are more people that have heart disease. There are more people that have migraine headaches. There are more people that have arthritis. There are more people that have virtually every major health abnormality.
Right.
It's getting worse and worse. Medical science has failed. It's obvious. When more and more people are getting the disease, isn't it true that the medical industry is failing us? More people take drugs today than ever before. Now, I'm actually going to put a number on the screen if people want the book, called Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. It's not in the bookstores yet. It's available here. We'll put a number on the screen. You can call to get more information on where to get it. And I also have a newsletter that comes out now. It's a monthly newsletter called The Whistleblower.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'm so passionate about this industry. The book covers all these diseases and the cures, but there are so many new things that come out and that I find from the industry. For example, the food additives. The food industry right now is going to be the next attack, similar to the tobacco industry. There are food ingredients.
Well, they've already started that.
Right.
With the colas.
That's right. They started with Coca-Cola when it used to have cocaine in it.
Yes.
Remember?
Well, they started with that, and they were going to ban them from elementary schools
Correct.
and high schools.
Well, what's occurring right now is there are ingredients being put in the food for one reason.
What's that?
To make you hungry.
Again.
Or to make you addicted to the product, or to make you fat. In other words, there are certain ingredients being put into the food today on purpose to make people fat, because fat people eat more food. This is sad, but it's absolutely true. Why is every other country in the world has lower obesity levels than America? Why are Americans blowing up? And there's many countries won't eat our meat, won't eat our dairy products. We can't export a lot of our food products because the health agencies around the world won't accept the toxic, potentially poisoned food products.
So the theory is, how could you be expected to eat right if you're not being given the proper foods to eat?
Correct. So there's a whole host of nutritional elements in it. Now, so the Whistleblower is a monthly newsletter now that I come up with where I talk about and expose all of these different scams, in effect, misleading information.
Can you mention any?
Well, the problem is when you start mentioning specific things, all of a sudden these particular companies will start attacking. Remember Oprah? When she talked about the meat industry?
Yeah, the cattle industry.
What happened? She got sued by the Meat Association. She got sued because she was giving her opinion about meat and exposing how meat is manufactured. There was a great book called Fast Food Nation, which talked about the quality or the lack of quality of the meat supply in most of the fast food chains, about how the meat is made, how the sick animals are chopped up and fed to us. And it's probably loaded with feces and urine and potential disease, how these animals are given growth hormone. And why is our children today, little girls, having breasts at 10 years old and starting their menstrual cycle so early?
Right.
Why are little boys having puberty so early? Well, could it be the growth hormone that's being put into...
It's not in the water.
Well, no, it could be, but it could be probably in the meat. It could be in the dairy, where they put the growth hormone in the animals to blow them up really quick, and then we consume them. Many of these, many people believe that we're getting hormone replacement therapy just by eating food.
Or drinking milk.
Correct.
Right.
It could be in the dairy products.
Right.
It doesn't happen overseas.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the fast food industry as well. A lot of people chuckle at the notion of people filing lawsuits against fast food companies for causing them to become addicted to this food, and people laugh that off. But what you're saying is there's some truth to that.
I believe that there is some truth to it, and I believe people have to take personal responsibility and go, I can't eat certain things every day and expect to be thin. But I also believe that a lot of the advertising being done is false and misleading. When you see a professional athlete who has a fantastic body, eating certain amounts of certain companies' foods, and go, wow, isn't this great? Isn't that telling you or leading you to believe, wow, I can have this body. Look at him. He has this body and he eats all this stuff. That's false and misleading in my opinion. Okay? Then the person goes there and they blow up like a balloon. They become fat. But there are cures. Some specific ones. Let's talk about heartburn for a minute.
Okay.
Acid reflux disease. All of a sudden, it's a disease, and you know.
Well, it generates millions of dollars in television advertising as well because it's a disease.
When you think today, how many ads have you seen for drugs?
More now
than ever before.
2 years ago.
Now, who are the drug companies trying to convince to use the drugs? Isn't it true?
A whole new generation of people?
Well, think about it.
Sure.
You're sick. You go to a medical doctor. This is what normally happens. The doctor is allegedly trained, looks at your symptoms, based on what he sees and his experience and knowledge, writes you a prescription. Or he cuts out a part of your anatomy. That's pretty much what doctors do, right?
Yeah, right.
Surgery, or they give you a drug. Pretty much all they do.
Well, there you go. Doctors and chiropractors.
Right. They write your prescription, medical doctor, or cut out a part of your anatomy.
Sure.
But the doctor's supposed to know what drug is going to solve these symptoms. Why are the drug companies advertising on TV every day to you and I? Think about it. Why? So that we go to our doctor and say, I want this drug I saw on television.
That's why they give the doctor samples.
Right. But do you understand how wrong this is? People now are being programmed by the drug industry, buy drugs.
Or they go to their doctor and specifically ask for a specific
drug. And if the doctor says no, they're going to go to another doctor who will write in the prescription.
Right.
It's about selling more drugs.
That sounds illegal.
It's about selling more drugs. let me give a number out so that people can get the book if they want it. The book is not in stores right now.